John, welcome to the show. First, you've got 14 albums released, a long career, successful. We can't talk about the whole thing, but what we'll start off with is the name Soft White Underbelly. What's the first name for Öyster Cult?
True.
We'll come up with that one, Eric.
Actually came from the brain of our manager, Sandy Froman, a long, long time ago in the late 60s.
That's right. Churchill used to refer to the Axis powers, Italy and Germany during World War II, as the soft underbelly of Europe. Actually, it was Italy, I think he was talking.
Right. How long did you keep that name for before you changed it to Glory?
Well, we threw it out straight away, actually.
Good choice.
And then tell Sandy don't come up with another idea for the band.
Then he came up with Blue Öyster Cult, so...
Yeah. And in 1974, you did some headlining tours in the States without even a single, gold albums. I mean, that time was unusual.
Yeah, we were really sort of a word-of-mouth band. We had been opening for larger bands, and we were sort of becoming known as like, you know, doing better than the bands we were supposedly opening for. So our reputation sort of preceded us by word of mouth.
We never were a pop band. So any pop success we had was sort of accidental.
Yeah, you never limited your music or tried to compromise to get in the charts, really, did you?
That's right.
Apart from...
We didn't comb our hair for like 5 years.
That's why you took off.
Apart from in 1976, John, Don't Feel a Reaper was a top 10 radio hit. Do you think that got the ball rolling?
Absolutely. Like, looking at it from the outside, especially because at that time I wasn't in the band. And that's actually the first time I'd heard of the band was Don't Feel the Reaper. I said, wow, check these guys out.
Was that a big impact worldwide for you guys? Did things start to take off
Yeah.
on that singing?
Oddly enough, it was a hit in the UK about a year after it was a hit in America. So, but of course it did, yeah, and opened up Europe to us.
A lot of people think that was the beginning for us, but we had already been, you know, touring for 5 years before that.
Yeah.
It was our fifth
That's
album.
right.
Yeah,
before that, we've been starving in local bands, you know.
It's true.
Before that, we've been
all.
playing in our group bedrooms, you know.
Yeah.
And moving on a few years, Eric, Godzilla, that exploded for you guys in Japan in a big way.
It did well just about everywhere. It's probably our most...
For some reason, they like Godzilla in Japan. I don't know why. Can't figure it out.
And at the same time, you had a massive, I think, laser show with you guys.
Yeah, in the late
time.
70s.
Yeah, that was our foolhardy year, I think.
Yeah.
Was you one of the first bands? I've seen Pink Floyd with the lasers, but around about that time there wasn't that many bands using the lasers in a big production like
Nobody did it like we did.
Yeah, I truly believe we had the best laser show that ever got seen by anyone. You know?
It was so good the American government shut us down.
It's true.
It shows you how good it was.
Those days are gone now. You can't do anymore what we did.
That's true. Oh, when did John join the band? What year? Because we
3
skipped
years
through it
ago,
out.
right?
Yeah, almost this Ides of March in '86.
86. Well, in 87, you did a performance in Athens, Greece, I understand.
Yeah, for the first time.
For the first time.
That's interesting because we've just recently gone to millions of viewers in Greece. We're on their network right now, and they're always writing. They're always writing to us saying that no rock bands bother to tour in Greece.
Yeah, we were there the summer of '87. It was like a big soccer stadium. It was terrific. Wonderful country.
Fabulous country.
Yeah.
I guess logistically it's hard to go there, but it's very worth it to go there. You know, it's great.
We can talk to John now. You're in the band now.
Yeah, so far. That's still in the band.
We've just gone through about 15 years.
We've gone now we're in 87.
John's gonna get his 3-year pin soon.
In the same year, Eric, did you play in Switzerland and then Germany as well?
Yeah,
With Status Quo?
about 2 weeks after, we went right from Greece, from America to Greece, and then played the 2 shows in Greece, and then flew from there to Germany. Yeah.
That's when Alan rejoined the band.
Right.
And with Status Quo.
Right.
Now, this is a question we want to get across, guys. Who sung Roadhouse Blues? I mean,
That was one of Status Quo's. They always used to finish off with Roadhouse Blues, and you guys do Roadhouse Blues. So
we don't do it every
done
night,
for
though.
years, though.
Just do it now and again.
Yeah. The Doors were an influence on our young minds, you know, when we were growing up, and so we played a couple of Doors songs at various points in our career. So
We've actually had members of the Doors come up and do it with us.
We recorded it live with Ray Manzarek one time and Robbie Krieger one time at different occasions.
Right, okay.
They did appear simultaneously.
I'll tell you what, we've got to take a break. But before we just take a break, can we have a look at the new album on screen right now?
Okay.
Yes.
And Eric,
Yes.
there's a story behind this album. And what's the album called? Tell the viewers.
The new album The new album is called the Imaginos. It's on CBS Records, and it's our 14th album. And of course, the single out in Europe is Astronomy, and I believe there's a special edition of it you can get.
And the video is
And
also.
of course, there's a video on Astronomy also, which are we about to see?
You guys, I've got a surprise for these guys and you viewers. You've only seen this once. These guys have never seen it.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at your video, and we'll be
All
back
right.
with a guitar special.
That was the video to Astronomy from Blue Öyster Cult's new album, Imaginos.
Nice one, Eric.
Nice one, Eric.
Yes.
You know, I've heard in some on some video shows that video is considered too strong image-wise for some of the younger viewers.
Really?
Yeah.
It was really weird watching you guys there, looking at a video which you haven't really had much to do with.
And you haven't seen.
I'd never seen
Right.
it before just now.
And
Yeah.
John's come up with a great comment about the rest of the new Öyster Cult videos in the near future.
Yeah, we're going to use that video for all our songs from now on.
That's right.
Well,
Most of the bands we talk to say that they've had some creative input with the videos. How come you guys
Well,
didn't
we-
have anything to do with this
We
one?
just sat around those chairs with the canvas backs and the pants that go like this, you know, with the beret and the megaphone. That's what we did in this video.
That looks good. Yeah.
well, let's talk about the new album, which is very important. And is it doing well for you, Eric?
Yeah, it's done very well. It's selling well in America and quite strong in Europe, actually, more strong than in America.
It took
That's
a long
interesting.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
time. It took a long time, though.
This is our first album in a long time.
How long did it actually take?
Well, in between the last one and this one was about 3.5 years. Actually.
Def Leppard show.
Yeah.
This record has actually been in the making for longer than that. We've put out other Blue Öyster Cult records while this one was being worked on.
John, there's a bit of debate who takes the credit for the album.
Blue Öyster Cult, of course.
Who's done the writing on this one, Eric?
Well, actually, it's a very long story, and it's been in Kerrang, it's been in all these different rock magazines, all this controversy between us
So we
and our
won't
drummer.
bore you with it now.
No.
But basically, it started off as a Blue Öyster Cult project in the early '70s. We sort of dropped the ball. In the late '70s, Albert Bouchard, our ex-drummer, picked it up, carried it as far as he could. Then he dropped the ball, and we picked it up again.
Well, that's why it took so long.
So that's why it took so long, and that's basically the concise history of it.
Now, for any Öyster Cult fans who haven't got the album, I've heard it's very good listening on the headphones.
Oh, it's dense. It's
It's
dense.
got lots of things.
Yeah,
on
lots
it.
of stuff
Yeah,
going on. A lot of
you'd have to
interesting
listen to
players
about
on it also.
25 times to really get like all that's on the tracks. You know, most of the record is recorded 72 track, so it's
And
plenty of information on there.
Just
for
looking at the back
astute
of-
listeners with keen hearing.
Looking at the back of the sleeve, some interesting comments on there. Quite an interesting story behind it. Do you work on a theme when you're doing the albums? Is there a story behind the whole album? Is it a concept in
This
in a
album
way?
is the most thematically unified record we've ever done, and we probably will ever do. You know, the amount of time and effort that went into this, you know, you can't do again and again. You know, I mean, we don't want to spend another 6 years making a record.
No.
I'd like to bring Eric in this
Yeah.
one. Interesting point as well. Listening to the mix of the album, did you take them into your car, drive away and listen to them, come back to the studio and back into the car with mixing again?
That happens quite often, actually. It's kind of funny because I had the killer sound system in one of my cars, which he got
That's
after
right.
I had it. Then he sold it to his in-laws.
That's right. But by now, the speaker cones are just a threat.
But it used to be like a mini studio on wheels, and I used to
Yeah.
take the cassette, run out of the studio, pop it in the car, because you know exactly what your car stereo sounds like, and crank it up, listen.
Yeah.
Too much bass, take it back in.
Yeah, the fact is, I think most records they choose mixes that way. You know?
It's a great way of listening
Yeah.
to music. We do it a lot when we listen to the demos, what the guys send in. When we've gone through about
Yeah.
4 or 5 demos on the way down today, we do that quite often.
That's right.
You brought the guitar on, we better do this very quickly.
Competition
give
for
the
you
old-
viewers.
A Washburn here,
That's right.
beautiful guitar.
Somebody should clean the fingerprints off it.
Yeah.
Signed by the band. And a competition for you viewers,
Right.
which is going to be set by Eric.
Oh my goodness! What a shock! This fine Washburn guitar, and I do play one of these, a similar model on stage. We're going to give it away. Actually, it's going to be given away
Yes.
by MTV, and it's a fairly easy trivia question that you have to answer.
To qualify
Yes.
for the drawing.
They have to mail in. Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
right, on a postcard.
Right. and I guess we'll see the address on the screen or something.
Yeah,
Some
we'll run through
amazing
all this,
technology
Eric.
like that. And
We'll leave it to these boys to take care of that.
and the question is, how many live albums has Blue Oyster Cult ever put out?
Right.
Which is a fairly simple question if you're into the band. There are 14
CBS
total.
Records, right.
14 albums total.
Not counting bootlegs
How
or
many of those were
anything like
live? And I guess they'll make a drawing from the correct answers.
Okay,
There it
and our
is.
producer Justin's a Blue Oyster Cult big fan, and he didn't know how many live albums.
That's right. We're gonna get him for that.
Yeah. How big a fan was he? Just how big a fan.
Is it still a buzz for you guys on tour? Let's quickly say what you've got planned. I know you're going back to the States tomorrow. You've got Germany
Right.
coming up, have you?
Yeah, right
Yeah.
from here, we're
We
heading
just
to the
did
airport.
a
Flying
really,
right home.
really great swing of the UK. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did 13
Yeah.
shows in 13 days.
We hadn't been here
And,
since '85, and we really loved getting back.
Can I just bring John in this? This is because you'll come into the scene when Blue Oyster Cult was on Don't Fear the Reaper. Now I was at a gig watching you guys, you didn't know I was there, and you brought in a track called Godzilla.
Yes.
Everyone went wild. But can you tell me why halfway through there suddenly was a drum solo and the kids like sat back, and about 3 minutes later you continue with the song and the kids start, oh, we're still with Godzilla. Why is it, that there's a drum solo being banged into one of the favourite records on this set? Why do you think that is,
Well,
John?
that's a good question, and deserves a good answer.
Yeah.
It's just been always done that way.
Yeah, we meant to do that.
Yeah,
You meant to do that.
Yeah, matter of
Yeah.
fact, it appears on one of the live albums with the drum solo in it. So,
So you
it's
kept
the
it
way it's
basically
always
the
been.
same,
So you
yeah.
kept it
Right.
the same.
It's sort of tradition, Nick. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And
It's
you're
heavy
going-
metal, but
We're
it's a drum solo.
we're
I'm
too
sorry.
set in our ways. We're too set in our ways to change it. That's all.
Europe, very quickly because we've got to go soon. You've got Germany planned out on
Yes.
I believe,
Next week.
next
Yeah.
week
We have a short vacation, then right back.
to Germany.
Right.
Right, so look
Germany
out
and Switzerland, I believe.
Okay then, so look out for these guys in Europe. It's been
Yeah,
a
it's Blue Oyster Cult and Kansas.
Oh,
Right.
interesting package
Yeah.
then.
Nice.
Well, we wish you guys all the best in Europe. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming to the UK and
Nice
talking
talking
to
to
the
you,
Baileys.
Dave.
Thanks, John.
Thanks a lot.
Eric,
It's great.
Buck, it's been a pleasure. Good luck. And we'll watch a video and be back with the address. The Blue Oyster Cult. Keep talk.